Welcome back, everybody, to the Deep Dive. Today we are heading south, a little bit south of Atlanta,
Okay.
to McDonough, Georgia. Have you heard about McDonough?
I have, yeah. It's definitely making a name for itself in real estate.
It really
A
is.
lot of buzz.
Yeah, and we're going to break down exactly why that is.
Yeah, sounds good.
Um, so, what's one of the first things that pops out to you? We have some research here, a pretty detailed guide
Uh,
to McDonough's real estate.
um, well, the first thing is McDonough isn't just growing, it's booming.
Yeah, that's a great point.
8.8% population jump
In a year.
in just a year. That's wild. So that creates a very unique market, I think.
Absolutely, yeah, for
Yeah.
both buyers and sellers, for sure.
Yeah.
And one of the things, as I was looking at the research that really popped out to me was just the variety in
Uh-huh.
McDonough. You've got like historic areas like McDonough Square, but then you have these newer developments popping up in places like Ola. And then you have these pockets like Heritage Park that are a little more laid back, family friendly.
Right, right. It's got a lot of different personalities, I guess, within the town.
Yeah, and you see that reflected, I think, in the types of sellers that you see at sellthathouse2me.com.
Definitely. Yeah. You get people who are really trying to, capitalize on this hot market, trying to make a quick profit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you get others that really need to move quickly because of, life changes.
Right.
And, like Sarah, who needed to sell her house quickly near McDonough Square, because of a divorce.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I think we're going to touch on today is just how life can throw these curveballs.
Yeah.
And you need to sell your house fast, and that's where a cash offer
Right.
can be a game changer.
Absolutely. You don't have to wait months for a buyer. You don't have to haggle over repairs.
Nope.
You just get a fair cash offer and you can
Yeah.
close quickly.
Right. Speaking of that, what does the research say about how long it takes to close, traditionally, in McDonough?
Yeah, traditionally you're looking at about, 60 to 90 days.
Wow.
And that's if everything goes smoothly,
Yeah. No,
which it doesn't always.
it rarely does.
So, in a market like McDonough, when it's moving so fast, 60 to 90 days can feel like an eternity.
It can. And honestly, I've sold houses the traditional route.
Right.
It's a nail biter.
It is,
You've
yeah.
got to, stage the house. You got to keep it spotless for showings.
All the paperwork.
All the paperwork and the financing issues potentially on the buyer's end.
Yeah.
It's just no wonder people are looking for a simpler solution.
Exactly.
Something easier.
And I think that's one of the reasons why sellthathouse2me.com has become so popular in McDonough because, we buy houses as is. So you don't have to worry about making any repairs or upgrades.
That's a big one, yeah.
And we can close in as little as a week. It's just such a relief for people who need to move quickly and don't have the time for all that traditional back and forth.
Yeah. It's all about providing options. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Not everybody has the luxury of waiting months for a sale.
Yeah.
If you're facing foreclosure or you're going through a divorce or you need to relocate for a job,
Yeah.
those extra weeks, months
Huge
can make a huge, huge difference.
Totally.
So that's, if you're in McDonough, Georgia,
Yeah.
and you're listening to this and you're in that situation, sellthathouse2me.com is definitely something to check out.
Absolutely. You can get a no obligation cash offer
In 24 hours.
in just 24 hours. It's fast, it's fair, and it could be just the solution that you're looking for.
Okay, so we touched on this a little bit, but let's dive a little deeper into what's actually driving this population surge
Okay.
in McDonough. It's not just people, fleeing the city for a quieter life. Our research points to some pretty significant economic developments as well.
Yeah. McDonough's is attracting new industries and job opportunities, and that's really fueling this growth. And we're seeing, healthcare facilities, manufacturing, even some tech companies are starting to set up shop
Interesting.
in the area.
So it's almost like McDonough is becoming this like mini hub,
Right.
drawing people in from all sorts of fields.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really interesting to see.
And all these new residents are coming in,
Yeah.
from all these different backgrounds, all these skill sets. It's just adding to the vibrancy of the town.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's really, it's boosting the local economy. It's attracting more investment.
Yeah.
It's like the snowball effect. It's
Right.
it's really gaining momentum.
And you see that reflected in the real estate market too, I think, with all the new construction that's popping up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Builders are really trying to keep up with the demand, and you see this mix of architectural styles too,
Oh.
From classic Southern homes to more modern designs. It's like McDonough's kind of like a canvas for all these different.
Yeah, it's like a showcase.
Yeah, yeah, a showcase of all these housing trends.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of those showcases that our research highlighted. So one of the neighborhoods that really caught my eye was Heritage Park.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's because it seems to really embody like that.
The classic Southern charm.
The classic Southern charm, the tree-lined streets, the friendly neighbors, big focus on community. It's no wonder that it's attracting so many families.
Yeah, it really is that close-knit atmosphere that people are really looking for.
But even in a place like Heritage Park, right? Life happens.
Okay, totally.
Jobs change, families grow. Maybe you just need more space or a different setting.
Right.
We've seen that with some of the folks that we've worked with in Heritage Park who, they need to sell quickly because of unforeseen circumstances. And that's where, sellthathouse-to-me.com really comes in.
For sure.
And tries to make that process as smooth as possible.
Exactly. I mean, think about, let's say you inherit a property in Heritage Park, but you live, across the country.
Right.
And managing a long-distance sale just sounds like, a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you need to downsize quickly after, a job change. If a cash offer provides that flexibility and peace of mind.
It does.
Especially in a market like McDonough that's moving so quickly.
Right. You don't have time to waste.
No, you really don't.
In that kind of situation.
Nope.
So it's not just Heritage Park, though, right? Our research also talks about Ola.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like this hot spot for new construction. Young families are really drawn there.
Yeah, definitely. Ola High School.
Ola High School, yeah.
Yeah.
Very highly rated.
Yeah.
So it's got a different energy, I think, than Heritage Park, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it does. A little more, I guess you could say a little bit more modern.
You like that next generation.
Yeah.
Kind of that.
It is, yeah.
That go-getter spirit.
Yeah, focused on growth.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of sellers in Ola who are either, they're upsizing or they're moving because of job changes within the booming Atlanta metro.
That's right.
So it's like this, almost like Ola represents that next generation of McDonough residents.
Yeah.
People that are drawn to the town's potential.
Right.
And they want to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. They want to see it grow and kind of be a part of that excitement.
Now, speaking of McDonough's future, we can't overlook the impact of its location.
Right.
I mean, it's a stone's throw.
It's so close to Atlanta, yeah.
From Atlanta. I mean, that's going to be a huge draw, right?
Huge draw. It means, people can have the best of both worlds.
Totally.
They get that small town living with big city access.
And let's not forget the affordability factor.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
I mean, our research indicates that the median home price in McDonough is significantly lower.
It is, yeah.
Than in many parts of Atlanta.
Definitely.
And that makes it attractive to first-time buyers and folks who are just trying to, stretch their budget a little further.
Right, exactly. And that affordability combined with the growth potential, it makes it a really interesting market, not just for traditional buyers, but for investors too.
Speaking of investors, let's talk a little bit more about kind of the role of cash offers in a market like McDonough.
Yeah. Because
some people might be hesitant about the idea, right? Like they think they'll get a lower price than if they went the traditional route.
Right. That's definitely a common misconception.
Yeah.
While it's true that sometimes cash offers, might be slightly below market value, you got to factor in the time and the cost savings.
Yeah.
When you sell traditionally, you're paying agent fees. You got closing costs. You're potentially making repairs.
Right.
You're dealing with the uncertainty of the market.
Yeah, and just that risk.
And the risk of the deal falling through.
Exactly.
With a cash offer, you know exactly what you're getting.
Right.
And you can close quickly.
So
you can avoid all those carrying costs and those potential headaches.
Yeah, it's about, I think, weighing your priorities. Right?
It is, definitely.
Like if your main goal is to get the absolute, highest price.
Yeah.
And you have the time to deal with it.
And the resources.
And you have the resources to navigate that whole process. Then, go for it.
Yeah. Maybe that's the right way to go.
But if speed and certainty, convenience, if those are at the top of your list, a cash offer could be a smarter choice.
Right. It's all about finding, the solution that best fits your needs and your circumstances.
And that's what we try to do at sellthathouse-to-me.com, right over that.
Exactly. Yeah. We really, we take the time to understand each seller's situation
Mm-hmm.
and help them explore all their options so they can make the best decision.
And let's be clear here, too. Like, we're not just about, making a profit.
Right.
I mean, this is about helping people.
Exactly.
And we've seen it firsthand.
We have. Yeah.
How a cash offer can be like a lifeline
Right.
for
It's
folks
great.
facing tough situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a sudden job loss or a family emergency,
Mhm.
or even like the need to avoid foreclosure.
Right. It's about providing that sense of relief and empowering people to move forward with their lives.
Exactly.
And that's something that we're really passionate about at sellthathousetome.com.
Okay, so let's get back to McDonough.
Okay.
Our research mentions specifically McDonough Square.
Yeah, McDonough Square, it's definitely a must-see.
I mean, is it like the heart of McDonough?
It is, yeah. Like the classic southern town square. You got the historic Henry County Courthouse there,
Mm-hmm.
which is just beautiful architecturally,
Yeah.
and all those, local shops and restaurants that give it so much character.
It's got to feel like stepping back in time.
A little bit, yeah, but with a modern twist.
Yeah, like that blend of old and new that,
Yeah.
that McDonough seems to do so well.
Definitely, yeah, it's really appealing.
Like, can you imagine you're grabbing a coffee
Yeah,
at a cafe
yeah.
on the square, and then you walk a couple blocks, and like all of a sudden you're at a brand new brewery or
Right.
art gallery.
Yeah, it's that unexpected mix, that keeps things interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just, I don't think, the aesthetics
Right.
either.
Right.
Our research, I think, really points to this real effort
Mm.
to preserve McDonough's history and culture
Right.
while still, embracing growth.
Yeah, it's a good balance.
Yeah, there's like a real sense of community pride there.
There is. Yeah.
And residents seem to be very involved.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, in shaping the town's future.
Yeah, it's like they found that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
They're holding on to their roots while still, reaching for the stars.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
And that balance, I think, is also reflected in the real estate market.
It is. Yeah.
Right? You have these beautiful, historic homes around McDonough Square.
Right.
But then, as you go further out,
Yeah.
you're seeing those newer developments popping up.
Yeah, catering to, folks that want maybe a more modern lifestyle.
Right, exactly. And let's not forget the natural beauty around McDonough, too.
Oh, yeah.
Our research really highlights Avalon Park
Oh, beautiful park.
as like a great example of how the
Yeah.
town really values like green spaces
Right.
and outdoor recreation.
Exactly. It's Avalon Park is like an oasis
Yeah.
in the middle of town.
Yeah.
You got walking trails, picnic areas. They even have a splash pad for the kids.
Oh, wow.
It's the perfect place to escape, the hustle and bustle.
Like, get back to nature.
Reconnect with nature. Yeah.
It's like McDonough just has like something for everyone, honestly.
It really does. Whether you're a history buff, a nature lover, or just, looking for a friendly, welcoming community,
Yeah.
it's a great place to be.
And that diversity is, I think, reflected
Mm-hmm.
in the sellers that we work with at sellthathousetome.com.
Yeah.
I mean, we've helped folks that are downsizing,
Yeah.
from larger homes near Avalon Park,
Right.
families that are relocated. Maybe they need more space
Mhm.
from an area like McDonough Square.
Right.
And even those folks who, they inherit a property and they just need
Yeah.
to sell it quickly
Right.
without the hassle.
It happens a lot. Yeah.
So it seems like McDonough has really managed to kind of hit that sweet spot,
Yeah. Mm.
growth and progress,
Yeah.
but still holding on to that small town charm.
Right.
But with all this development, all these new people coming in, what does the future hold, you think, for McDonough?
That's the million-dollar question, right? I
Yeah.
mean, is it going to become another sprawling suburb, or, will it manage to keep that unique character?
Right. Our research suggests that they're aware of that challenge.
Yeah, I would hope so.
And it seems like they're taking steps to make sure that the growth happens sustainably.
That's good to hear.
But, I mean, what do you think? What are some of the key factors, moving forward? What are they going to have to kind of pay attention to?
Well, I think infrastructure is huge.
Oh, okay.
Can the roads, the schools, the utilities, can they keep up with all these new people?
Yeah, that's a good tribute.
That's always a concern.
That's a valid concern, I think, in any town that's growing this fast.
Yeah, for sure.
But our research indicates that they are investing in infrastructure improvements. So they're, widening roads, expanding public transportation,
Mm-hmm.
upgrading utilities.
That's key, I think.
Yeah, so
Having that proactive planning
right.
is really crucial.
It's not just about, I think, physical infrastructure, though. It's also that social infrastructure.
Right. Yeah.
You know, creating that sense of community and belonging.
Right, for the new people and for the people who've been there, forever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I think those, community events, those local businesses, those, the town squares really come into play, right?
For sure. It gives people a sense of place.
Yeah.
It helps foster those connections.
Yeah, and those connections are so important, I think.
They're everywhere.
For a thriving community.
Yeah, totally agree.
Let's not forget education, too.
Oh, yeah, huge.
Our research highlighted Ola High School, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's, attracting young families.
Yeah, if the schools aren't good,
Yeah.
people aren't going to want to move there.
So it seems like they're committed, at least, to providing those opportunities, those educational opportunities.
Sure.
So it's almost like McDonough is, laying this groundwork
Yeah,
for a really bright future,
I think so.
not just in terms of, economic growth, but
Right.
also in terms of creating this vibrant,
Right, a welcoming community.
yeah, for all these new people.
So for anyone who's considering, being a part of that,
Wow.
whether it's, buying a home, starting a business,
Yeah.
or even just, going there to enjoy the amenities.
Yeah, take advantage of that.
It's an exciting time to be a McDonough.
I would say so.
Yeah. So if you are, thinking about making a move, or maybe you're already there,
Yeah.
and navigating that real estate market feels a little overwhelming,
Mhm.
remember, sellthathousetome.com is here to help.
Absolutely. We're here to make it easier.
Yeah, we understand buying and selling can be stressful.
Oh, for sure. Especially in a market like this, one that's moving so quickly.
Yeah, so that's why we offer this simpler solution, that fast, fair cash offer.
We buy houses as is, any condition.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about fixing anything up.
No repairs, no upgrades.
And we close in as little as a week.
Which is like a huge, for a lot of people, yeah.
Especially if you need to move quickly.
So if you're facing, a life change, or you don't want to deal with the traditional sale, head over to sellthathousetome.com.
You can get a free, no-obligation cash offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've helped a ton of homeowners in McDonough.
We have.
And we would love to help you.
All right, so that wraps up our deep dive into McDonough, Georgia.
Beautiful town.
We hope you enjoyed the journey.
I hope so.
Learned a little something.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.